Dive into the world of innovation with us as we unravel the challenges, breakthroughs, and latest trends that are shaping our digital landscape. This is Tech Unmuted, your guide to the tech revolution.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Unmuted. And today we are diving into the compliance discussion. I know folks don't like this topic, but we have to deal with it, right? It's just if you're in finance or healthcare or legal, you have to stay on top of all these things that are, all this compliance stuff. There's nowhere around it. So I know it's not fun. But I think it's important to at least touch on this topic and talk to you all a little bit about some of the things we can do, kind of meet some of that compliancy. It's the reason I struggle. Here's what it is. It's frustrating when you are looking for compliant solutions, and then you read a tagline that says, hey, this ABC product will make you HIPAA compliant or make you whatever the compliance is. I don't like when I read that because it's not true, right? For example, we are a Microsoft Teams solution provider, right? We do WebEx as well, right? We offer WebEx solutions as well. When I say we, I'm talking about Fusion Connect as a company. Well, if you ever hear somebody say, hey, Microsoft Teams can make you compliant, that's not necessarily a factual statement. Microsoft Teams cannot make an organization compliant on its own, but it does offer a suite of features that help businesses meet their regulatory obligations. That's the difference, okay? But as a standalone, no, it's not. It's a piece of a much larger puzzle, and we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about how Microsoft Teams specifically can help. And when you take Microsoft Teams and you combine that, right, with Fusion Connect's specialized add-ons, such as compliance call recording and DNC TCPA and 10DLC SMS texting, those types of add-ons, now a business can better manage the risks. They can avoid penalties. They can maintain operational continuity. So yes, it's a piece of a greater puzzle. And I'm going to talk today about how Microsoft Teams can help be a real player, honestly, when it comes to regulatory compliance. So in regulated industries such as finance and healthcare, businesses must adhere to specific laws. Let's talk about what those things are, okay? There's a lot of them, but there's only three that we run into quite often, right? One is HIPAA, right? That's a given. We all know HIPAA because we sign papers when we go to our doctor's office that talk about HIPAA. HIPAA, which is spelled HIPAA, is the Healthcare Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. That is a U.S. Legislation that mandates the protection of sensitive patient health information. Okay. Then you have the GDPR, right? That's the General Data Protection Regulation. That is a European Union regulation, and that governs the handling of personal data, right, in the EU, in the European Union. Then you have FINRA, FINRA. That's the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. That is also a U.S. regulatory body that oversees the securities industry. And it requires firms to maintain records of communication for audit and oversight purposes, right? So Microsoft Teams can help. Again, on its own, it can't just make it compliant. It is part of a much larger puzzle, but Microsoft can help. Microsoft Teams specifically, when it comes to HIPAA, Teams provides encrypted communications and data storage, ensuring that healthcare providers can share patient information securely and minimizing the risk of data breaches, right? It also has role-based access control, so it only authorizes uh, the right personnel to and allows them to access sensitive health records. So those are things that are kind of baked in, and that helps check a box towards that HIPAA compliancy, right? From a GDPR perspective, Microsoft Teams actually supports that GDPR compliance by offering features like data residency. Let me explain that. Data residency is keeping the data in a specific geographical location. Okay. Also, it offers consent management and data subject requests. So this allows individuals to access, to rectify, or to delete their personal data. So the platform also provides data encryption, ensuring that any personal data transferred over Teams remains secure. So again, that's how Microsoft Teams can help check off some boxes for GDPR. And from a FINRA perspective, well, Microsoft Teams offers audit trails, right? And e-discovery. You couple that with some compliance call recording that Fusion Connect can offer, and it really helps financial institutions track and archive communications. So these tools help to ensure that firms can produce the necessary records for a FINRA audit, and that's the main goal there, is to be able to provide that upon request. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the things we mentioned that Fusion Connect does to as an add-on. Right. So we just talked about how Microsoft Teams natively can help, but I mentioned compliance call recording. What is it? Here's what it is. So Fusion Connect can take the existing Microsoft Teams environment and do an add-on layered on top of that. It enables businesses to record 100% of the conversations across devices, and it provides AI-driven insights, real-time search, and advanced notifications, so that businesses can manage these recordings and meet compliance standards. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute, doesn't Teams record stuff already? Yes, but this solution is geared more towards compliance requirements. So with the AI-driven insights, the fact that they can store unlimited calls for as long as they need to, unlike Teams, which makes, starts to delete stuff after a while to kind of free up space. This solution helps to meet those requirements. The solution also supports seamless integration via an open API. So this ensures that data portability and cost-effective deployments can occur without necessarily compromising security. So compliance call recording, so cool stuff. Just if you're looking at enabling Microsoft Teams to make and receive phone calls, that's definitely an add-on that you may want to consider. There's also a lot of talk lately about DNC TCPA, which is the Do Not Call registry, and 10DLC, which is a way of regulating SMS texting for business purposes. Well, Fusion Connect can also ensure compliance with DNC, so that's Do Not Call. And by the way, TCPA stands for Telephone Consumer Protection Act. What can I tell you? We're talking about compliance. They're full of alphabet soups up here. Both of these regulations really is about managing consent and avoiding penalties for unauthorized marketing communications. Okay, so that's really what that's about. Like, you don't want folks blowing up your phone if you didn't authorize it, right? Also, the 10DLC SMS service add-on, because again, it's an add-on for Microsoft Teams. What that does, it adheres to the registration process. And so if you're a business and you want to use SMS to communicate with customers, whether it's one-on-one, like let's say an appointment reminder, for example, or something, or it's group messaging, letting them know about a special you have going on. You have to create these campaigns for these different scenarios and use cases, get that registered with the campaign registry. And then as a business, when you start engaging your customers in SMS texting, you won't get blocked and you won't get penalized, you won't get fined, right? And so those are the types of add-ons you want to look for if you want to take Microsoft Teams calling services to the next level, okay? So just to recap, compliance call recording, and then you have DNC TCPA and 10DLC SMS. So those are all different types of add-ons that you can bring into your Microsoft Teams solution, and it helps keep you compliant. You want to be compliant because they start coming after you, the fines start adding up, and then you're not going to be happy. So I was thinking to myself, well, is there a regulatory mandate, some kind of compliance requirement out there to have a network that's redundant? I'm not sure. Like I asked myself that question. Is there such a thing? Maybe. I'm not a compliance officer. I don't do deep dives into these things. But I would think that even if it's not a requirement, man, a lot of folks may want some pretty advanced business continuity. Terry and I, we did an episode on this specific configuration. And so we can probably point you guys to that podcast. But it's really cool. It's really about, if Microsoft Teams ever has some type of a disruption, because at the end of the day, Microsoft Teams in this scenario is your PBX. And so we have the ability to do some advanced business continuity features where we can control that call. And because we also have our own PBX, we can make that call ring at another device or another alternative soft phone, for example. It's not call forwarding. That's not what this is. Anybody can do that. This is true business continuity where you're using the same number to make and receive calls, even though there's a disruption, which is pretty cool. So I don't know, right? I don't know if there's any compliance necessarily out there but man, the fact that we can do that, I think that's pretty awesome. So if you're looking at, if you're talking to Fusion Connect right now about Microsoft Teams calling and compliance is top of mind, these are all things that you can talk to us about, and we can help. So I know it's not fun, right? It's the compliance podcast. It's just not. It's not a fun conversation. But what is good to know is that there's companies out there that they do this. They can help you with this. And Fusion Connect, we're one of them. And so it's fast paced. Yes, it's these regulated environments, and staying compliant is important to many customers. You got to have the right tools, okay? Fusion Connect can help you with that. And there's actually a couple blogs out there that we have on our website, which you should probably look into. If you go to fusionconnect.com and you look under the blog section, there's one called New Integrated DNC and TCPA Compliance Solutions for Voice. You want to look at that blog. That's pretty cool. We just launched that recently, and the fact that we can take this feature not just across our Microsoft Teams solution, but across all of our voice solutions, that's a big deal. And so you want to look at that. That'll help you make an informed decision on Fusion Connect. There's also another one, another blog. This one's called SMS and MMS for Microsoft Teams, and it talks about 10DLC compliance. And so we'll link those two blogs in the description as a follow-up. But yeah, listen, if you really need to understand all these compliance, all these requirements, you're concerned about whether or not our solution can check off these boxes, reach out to us. You can reach out at fusionconnect.com. The phone number is right at the home page, or you can talk live with somebody. But yeah, let's get one of our experts on the call with you. We'll walk you through the whole journey, and we'll help you understand this very complex but necessary world of compliance, right? So don't get caught doing something that's going to cost you money down the road. Let's get ahead of it. We can help you. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected.
Thanks for diving into the tech world with us today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an episode of Tech Unmuted. Stay curious, stay connected.